A guy talks about how he can make anyone do anything with his pocket watch and hypnosis. This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
I'm not sure what y'all are doing with hypnosis, but it sounds like you're doing it wrong. I've seen everywhere how hypnosis can't be used to make anyone do anything they don't want to do. To that, I say, well then you're doing it wrong. I can make anyone do anything I want and have. Who am I? I'm just some guy talking trash on the internet. You can believe me or not. I just wanted to come on this forum and tell everyone that I'm better than you are, at least when it comes to hypnosis. Don't talk to me about golf. I got my first pocket watch when I was 16. Not how you think. I was poor then, really poor. My paycheck went to my family so we could keep a roof over our heads. That means if I wanted to learn anything there was school, the library, and books from the thrift stores. I liked the thrift stores because they'd give me crappy books for free, and I didn't have to return them. When I was 16 I saw my first hypnosis comedy show on TV. I was enthralled. Yes, that is a joke. I wondered how that guy on stage got a woman to think she was a stripper, granted fully clothed but so hot. If you put all this together, I was at the thrift store asking about books dealing with hypnosis. I was given a book that was locked. I swear I thought that was only something from the movies. They were going to throw it out since there wasn't a key, but I am resourceful. I broke the lock trying to pick it and ended up prying the latch off with my dad's screwdriver. The thick old book had the first 100 pages cut out for a pocket watch, my first and favorite. Brass, glass, gears, and hands that looked so much like a pocket watch from the movies I didn't think it would work. A silver chain to hang it from, and I swung it before my eyes. I swear I felt like I was slipping into a trance right then and there. The remaining 200 pages of the book were intense. It was philosophy bordering on magic. It was linguistic techniques skirting the edge of spells. It was phraseology that could have been a superpower. I couldn't wait to try them out. I feel I have a pretty good grasp on what is moral and what isn't. What I did with that pocket watch falls under absolutely not moral. I hypnotized my teachers, my boss, my parents, my siblings, and the hot cheerleaders. I could have done anything to them. I did just about everything. Now, I was 16 at the time, and after a month of doing things that probably should have got me arrested, I took a break. It didn't help that mom got sick, and I had to help her, and my brothers and sisters, and even dad at times. This is while holding down a job. It was a daily thing, and at least I could use hypnosis to ease some of mom's pain. When I was 18 I was headed off to college, a week after burying mom. Dad was devastated but wanted me to get a good education. Marketing, making money, and getting people to fork over their hard-earned cash for a product or service. It helped that I hypnotized the guidance counselor at school to get as many grants as I could get, making my time at college nearly free. I put in the work, mostly. I did hypnotize some of the sexier female tutors to help me understand my lessons, and if they were clothes-free at the time we were studying, all the better. This was also when I first heard that you can't hypnotize someone to do something they don't want to do. Oh really? When my psychology tutor said this I snapped my fingers and told her to give me a sloppy blowjob. She instantly was on her knees doing just that. Did she want to? I made her want to, and thus she did. How did I make her want to do this? That's my secret. I don't care if you're pissed off at me right now, but I studied a 200-page book on hypnosis for a reason. I know just how to get anyone to do anything. That's why I had a woman with black hair, cute glasses, a wide mouth, and some of the largest natural breasts I've ever seen before or since, on her knees between my legs doing her best to not pass out from lack of oxygen while gagging on my manhood. How I got through college without an STD or a horde of children is beyond me. I did get a sweet gig right out of college. I got to market a string of gyms. It was like being given a candy store, and not just the keys. Everywhere I looked when I walked the gym floors was nothing but sexy women in tight or revealing or both, clothes. I wanted them all. I hadn't been that horny since my first six-way. Just a side note, if you ever have the chance to have 5 women join you in bed, make sure it is a king-size bed, and not a queen. It was way too crowded for a queen. A swing of my pocket watch and women that looked like an ancient goddess with larger muscles were eager to please me. I went around the gyms and recruited 6 women that were the sexiest, most muscular, and with the largest breasts possible. We met up at a gym after hours and made several short videos that I'd spliced together to make commercials. When work was done, it was time to play. Given my abilities with hypnosis, I've gotten to the point in my life where I want something unique. With 6 women hypnotized to obey me, I wanted to push them to their limits. Blank hypnotic eyes, mouths open and drooling onto their very large chests, it was a stunning sight. It was also hot that these women didn't have a stitch of clothing on. I had their minds focused on one thing, having the most powerful, squirting, orgasm they could have. I was rather proud of myself for being diverse. 2 Caucasian women, 2 African American women, 1 Asian woman, and 1 Indian woman were quivering before me as their bodies dripped with sweat and their mouths drooled onto their big breasts. Their hips were rocking as first one and then another woman had massive, flooding, squirting, spraying orgasms. By the end all of the women had massively gushing orgasms. I picked the 3 that had their eyes roll all the way back into their heads, leaving their eyes pure white. That was hot enough for me to make them have those white eyes the entire time we were in bed together. By bed I mean one of the women's beds. I'd be damned if I was going to have 3 women flooding my mattress to the point I'd have to throw it out. You might not be able to do this with hypnosis, but I can. I can have any woman I want. I can hypnotize a man and woman together and have the man give me his woman. I can make straight women lesbians and have. I've made women ditch their boyfriends, fiancés, entire families for me after a few swings of my pocket watch. You just need to know how to put their minds in an altered state. There is a gray range between the conscious and subconscious where anything is possible. I can put a person in such a hypnotic state. I don't understand why you can't. Give it a shot. I'll be watching this forum.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.